Hi, David Phelps here from the Freedom Founders Mastermind community. In our life, in our upbringing, we are taught to get educated, to develop skill sets, licenses, to obtain a career path, a business path, a job, a profession that we can go into and earn a living to provide for our families. That has always been the American dream. Hard work, character, integrity, do the work and provide for your family. All about having freedom, right? Wrong. I think if ever there was a time when that mantra has been proven to be wrong, it's now. Because look what's happened. We've had a pandemic, a virus which has created a shutdown of a $22 trillion US economy almost overnight. And we're finding out that people who depend upon themselves to go to work, to their job, their profession, their business, their practice, are now being told they can't do that. And so where does the cash flow come from? Well, the government is trying to step in and close that gap, or at least help people sustain through the gap through a crazy amount of stimulus money, which will have ramifications in the future. That's a topic for another day, huge ramifications, but trying to stave off the crisis right now, to flood the individuals, the workers, the employees, and the employers with enough stimulus money to get them through this period of time so they can get back on their feet. It is unusual, it is unprecedented, but here's what's not unprecedented. The fact that we put all of our focus and efforts on earning income. Today, current income, providing for today, paying our bills, paying our overhead, our lifestyle, paying taxes. We focus on today and we put off creating alternative revenue streams and creating what I call future equity bank. Future equity. Now, some people say, well, isn't that my retirement plan, David? Isn't that the 401k that my CPA set me up with so I can save taxes and set up this plan up? Well, that's kind of what the traditional model talks about. That's what you're supposed to do. But here's the problem. You put money into a 401k. Well, number one, you have no control over it. It's locked up till you're 59 and a half. You don't get to call the shots on how it's invested. It's in the stock market to some degree, I'm sure, stocks, bonds, annuities, somewhere in there. And it's taken a hit, as it does every time we have a reset. But folks, this is not new. These cycles are not new. We've had 33 such cycles since 1854, the first time in U.S. history we started documenting the market cycles, the up cycles followed by down cycles, resets, depressions. It just chases the exuberance out of the marketplace. It happens on a regular basis. It will happen again. So what are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You can't go back and keep doing the same model, picking up the pieces, going back and shoveling hard for another 5, 6, 7, 8 years just to get back to even again, if you can do that. That's not a plan. Having a plan B of multiple streams of income is the number one thing to get you through this gap. See, those of us who have worked hard on that and created those secondary streams, we don't have to actually go to work. If we can't, we're okay. We've got the other streams of income. It's what we invest in, alternative investments where people pay us for the use of the assets that we provided, that we've acquired, that we've built, rental properties, syndications in commercial properties, in apartment houses, in self-storage, in places where people always need to have a place of use. People will pay for that use. Now, I'm not going to go into different sectors of real estate. There's some sectors that do better than others. We tend to stay on the side of non-speculation, but about where sustainable cash flow is. Our members and Freedom Founders who have followed this path the last half a dozen years when we've been talking about the reset are in good position. They are weathering the storm. They will come back and be strong. And here's the other side. On the downturn, on the downslope of this recession, this reset, there will be huge opportunities, again, like there is in every recession. Once we hit near bottom, we'll know when to start buying again. How do you know? You got to be with a group of people who understand what the numbers look like, what the metrics look like, who have access points to these opportunities. See, as much as these cycles happen on a somewhat regular basis, there's almost only so many cycles we get a chance to participate in during a lifetime. And most people participate on the backside, meaning they give up wealth. Their wealth is lost. They lose it in the stock market. They lose it many times in businesses that go under because they didn't have the cash flow margins. They didn't have the plan B revenue, so they couldn't make it through the gap. They have to liquidate assets. Those of us who are positioned, we solve problems by buying those assets, not at retail prices, but at whatever market prices we believe the risk factors are. And we ride those back up again. That's where your wealth can not only increase, but double, triple sometimes based on the opportunities in the marketplace. So my point is you've got to play by new rules today. You can't do the old models of traditional, put your money in the stock market, put it in the 401k, the defined benefit plans, the cash balance plans. that's going to take you nowhere. You need control of your money. You need to orchestrate your financial future. And you can only do that when you're with a community, a tribe of people who are on the same path. It's not the same path as everybody else, but a path of the few, the road less traveled, but the path that's going to take you where you want to go. Yes, it takes a bit of a contrarian mindset. You can't think like everybody else. You can't let other people dictate to you what they think is right because, well, have they gained freedom in their own lives? See, only follow people who have actually gone that direction. Take direction. Follow the path of people who have done it. I'm one that's done it. I've been there. I've gone through this. I've created the plan B, and I've done it for many, many others. Freedom Founders is where you can do the same thing. If you want to see if you're a right fit, I encourage you to at least take a risk-free step and take the small survey, the short survey, get on a call with one of our member advisors and see if you're a fit. These opportunities will not provide themselves again very many times in one's lifetime. In fact, if you're my age or older, if you're 60 or older, this may be your last shot. So you at least do it the right way now, or you forever hold your peace. Which do you care to do? This is maybe your time. Remember, don't live your life with regrets. Take advantage now. Don't sit on the sidelines and be afraid. Step forward. This too will pass, but you want it to be passed in the way that you have control over it, where you actually step in and utilize the imbalance, the inefficiencies in the marketplace to your advantage. But you can't do that solo. You can't do that through the traditional markets. You've got to take the different path. I hope to talk to you soon.